Commanders, welcome to Tier 9. That's the name of today's video. Leonardo Ruas said, Mel, why don't you make a special video for people entering Tier 9? Now, I did do a video a while back called The Truth About Tier 9, and it kind of talks about what happens when you hit Research Lab 21. Well, today I'm going to revisit that because a little bit's changed, and I think there's a lot of new players out there that are finally, a lot of free-to-play players as well, that are just coming onto the cusp of what Lab 21 can offer. So let's take a look. So if you go to your research lab, normally you can only click on battle and develop, right? If you try to click on lab on the advanced tab, it ends up saying you have to have lab 21 to even access it. Well, this is what it looks like when you have lab 21 or 22 unlocked. It actually starts off as just these three on the left here, 1, 2, 3. And they are infantry, walker, and airship alike. And the idea of what the developers are doing is they're telling you you have to research 5 of each. Oh, hold on a second, just so we're clear. If you thought getting Tier 7 and unlocking Bridge 21 was the hard part and that the game gets easier, you haven't been paying attention. This game does not reward you for going further and further down. This game gets exponentially more expensive. If you thought it was expensive to get Tier 7 and then expensive to get Bridge 21 or Research 21, just know that this research tab to fill it out all the way through is well over $100,000. $100,000 real dollars. So, and most people at this point start playing around with Tier 9 and Tier 10. Okay, so that's what happens here. You research 5 accuracy of each, and then it unlocks this next little fork here, and I keep moving my hands the wrong way. In this fork, these are Tier 9, right? 1, 2, 3. These are all Tier 9. The Death Angels are infantry, the Gaias are walkers, and then the Genesis are airships. Now, the airships have walker subtroops, the walkers have infantry subtroops, and the infantry has a airship subtroop. So you can use the troops on an infantry commander but still trigger airship skills. So you can run Death Angels with Dragon Slayer or Rogers, what's known as a Dodger Roger build. When you start getting to Tier 9, 10, and 11, you have 2 troop types per army. Now that goes away in Tier 12, but it also allows you to do different things with SWE. And then in Tier 11, the troop types change. So instead of infantry having also airships, infantry has Walker, the Eye of Greed, which makes a really crazy Hancock build. Anyway, there's a lot of interesting things you can do there, and that's not really the focus of this video. There's other videos on that. Watch Replay of the Week if you want to see some clever and creative builds with what you can do there. Okay. So once you unlock all Tier 9s, you do have to do all Tier 9s. The game kind of forces you to try them out. So you start trying different commanders, different combos. You don't need to have your commanders all maxed out in leadership, okay? Just a couple thousand leadership per commander for, try Hancock out with 2,000 leadership. Try Elf out with 2,000 leadership. Fight with small amounts of troops and capitals all the time on tiles. Really get a feel for what the commanders and troops can do, and that'll tell you the playstyle you kind of want. Now, obviously, I've been playing this game a long time. I know what the playstyles are. There's the Wings of Eternity Ghost Cannon bullet build that you can use Tier 1 Rangers to punish Tier 12 players. It's cheap. It's good for free to play. It's not a lot of penalty. You don't have to risk any high-tier troops. You don't have to build high-tier troops. So there's that playstyle, right? Great for galactic battle, scoring points early on. But then there's the Tank Stella build, which is like a pure accuracy damage reduction build, but it only really works with Tier 12 troops that have tear space damage, okay? So the Tank Stella build is kind of varied in use. So you're going to have to find out what's best for you. Most people are usually running, if you're infantry, maybe a Mysterious Warrior or Stella or a Ghillie or Nekajiro, just kind of a damage build, kind of give and take. It's good for Endless, good for Ace, good for Peak, good for server side, it's good for monsters, it's good for everything. But it's not very specialized, and maybe you'll specialize later. That's kind of up to you. Walker is usually running either like a Pictor or an Elf or a Hancock, maybe a Medusa for that guaranteed hit, or a Hoodoo for that nice, oh gosh, what's that called? Not Chain Blast. What's the word? Oh, help me out. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Death Rattle? All right. And then airships usually run in Rogers, Vega, Dragon Slayer, those guys. Okay, and you should definitely try all of them out and the different combos out and keep your eye on other builds. There's a lot of other builds. But anyway, by the time you get to Tier 10, that's when you have to decide, where do I go from here? Because at Tier 9, you have to get Tier 9. Okay, they're forcing you to try the Tier 9. At Tier 10, you no longer fork back. So once you choose your Tier 10 troop, you stay on that trajectory. You do not deter from it. Unless you plan on dropping tens of thousands of dollars in the next few months, pick a route and stay there. I can confidently say all of the routes are pretty good. Airship is pretty good. Vega, Dragon Slayer, The new Orochi commander, Rogers, Reinhardt's, very good commanders. In the late game, the super late game, airships kind of seems to be suffering because Rogers isn't the staple he used to be. But don't kid yourself, airships is still ridiculously good. Walker is probably the best in the meta right now, right? Elf with steam cannon pretty much disseminates any defensive comms that she just rips apart. The offense comms, she is susceptible though. She can be ripped apart by penetration builds like the Lady in Black build or any just massive one-slot bust build, Gillies, Stellas. They can break through even a well-built elf. And then infantry, I mean, there's a couple builds. The Gilly build's obviously really good. Gilly with Wings of Eternity, she just hits really hard. She's great for everything all around. But Hubarian with penetration is really fun, but you got to run expensive gear. There's just a lot of knowledge you have to start gathering. I can't cover it all in this video, so just kind of keep an eye on Replay of the Week and the live streams and in the channel. You know, I'll put information out there as well. There's other content creators that can help you out. Deranged has a good Walker channel. We lost Ridiculous Badger, but if his channel's still there, he had some great info on infantry as well. Anyway, okay. So, I know there's a lot of other content creators I left out. Sorry, guys. Check the comments below. There's good information in there as well. People contribute to this video by checking in the comments below. Whenever you're watching a Melt video, Melt AOW videos, just check the comments. People are really good about interacting and helping out for anything I miss. Okay, so let's say you go down the infantry route like I did. And I regretted that for a long time, but I don't anymore. You do have to get level 5 of everything to move on. My stuff is currently level 10 because I stuck with the infantry. The research gets crazy. And what you should know is that the research for advanced troops that you get in the advanced tab does not affect the non-advanced troops. So your rangers, okay, they're tier 1. They don't get advanced troop research. That would be amazing if they did. However, your advanced troops, your tier 9 plus, get the research bonuses from your basic troops. Okay, so why that's important is if you unlock Bridge 21 and you want to, build a big army, you have to go back to your original battle tab and make sure you max out all those researches, especially Infantry Mastery 2. That is so important. You don't need Tier 8. Tier 8's here. No one really ever uses it. It's single troop type. It's just a better version of Tier 7. There's different ways to build it. It was a concept idea tier. It was really like a prototype tier that was in the game, but it never really took off. They said, let's do something like Tier 9, and they just went with it. They kind of abandoned it. So I never even got those researches. I did get the Dragon research, but I never used them. They're just kind of novelty. Okay, so go back and get that original research, and then jump into Advanced Battle and start working your way down. Now, obviously for infantry, dodge is important. Okay, but your base troops have a lot of dodge. But defense is good too. It's nice to mitigate hits, but you're not really getting too much at level 5. 40% is not a big game breaker. But hyperspace, that is mastery. You need that. So that's what I'm working on now when I can afford it. When I can't, I go back and do dodge, because dodging is still really nice. Forces your opponents to keep their guaranteed hit. Keeps them honest. Okay. Once you get to tier 12, that's a whole nother can of worms. Let's talk one more thing. Advanced development. There's nothing in advanced development that's going to help you PvP unless you want to use the force field and exiles. Exile, literally warps somebody if you just hit them. It doesn't matter if they're on enriched or not. It just gets them out of your way. And it's made for like clearing out a guild base. When you have a guild base and like your enemy just rushes all their farm arcs into it, it's just one way to get them out. Because sometimes if they have 0 troops on them, they just burn and burn and burn. You can never break them. So the exile forces them out. Force field doesn't let you be speed hit. So you pop force field and you just start attacking tons of tile. Let your allies garrison you. It's a great way to PvP. So as soon as you can get that, I do recommend it. Hyperspace just increases your movement speed around the map with your ship. It's kind of silly and expensive, and it doesn't really do much. In fact, it's kind of better to be slow in galactic battle. You don't want to move too fast unless you're, pushing through. But most people gold jump. Anyway, the auto collector's nice. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. I just wanted to talk about tier 9, just kind of show you guys what you're in for. And I guess I didn't really cover the costs, but you can kind of see here, 7,000 unlimited crystals for level 6 research. That's actually not bad. That's only $500 or $600, okay? Or free to play. It'll take you a while. The Death Angels, I want to say they're like 25 to 45,000. All of the research costs are in the Theory Crafters Think Tank spreadsheet. I don't have that spreadsheet available. Someone will probably be a deer and put that in the link below, but that's in the Arc of War Discord. That's also in the description below. A lot of great resources there. But if you're working on it, you can see it. You know what you're in for. And ask your guild for help with all this stuff. If you're a boss player that's getting this high up and you're spending money, doesn't hurt to tell your guild what you're up to and ask if they want to help. This game is very much about community and supporting your guild. That really makes your guild, puts your guild on the map. You're going to need those players that are farming it out there and killing all the arcs to just funnel resources back to the bigger spenders. And it's just kind of one of the necessary evils of this game, but it kind of ties guilds together. It's a crazy game. Arc of War is a crazy game. Spending-wise, camaraderie-wise, PvP-wise, everything about Arc of War is just absolutely absurd. And at the same time, you ask yourself a lot of the time, why am I still playing? But you are. And you've been asking yourself this question since the first week you started. It's been years later. You're still here. You're going to play this game for years to come, whether you like it or not, or you quit. I don't know where I'm going with this. Listen, guys, I hope this was helpful to you. I hope it kind of pulled back the blinders and let you see what's going on in the advanced tab. Just know that it is very expensive. Don't try to go down 2 tiers at once. Stick to one first, max it out, then go to the other. Specialize in whatever your troop type is. If you're infantry, find a way to build all the different infantry types you like. My ghillie build is a combat damage build. I also have a Sui set of gear. I have a tank set of gear. I have a plasma bomb set of gear, and I have a Hubarian penetration set. A 1-slot bus set. I have the full sets of gear for just infantry, and I can kind of do everything I want with it. You don't need to have walkers and airships. Now, with tier 9 and 10, you do get to have fun kind of experimenting with those dual troop types and trying different commanders out, like I did with Full Metal and Moonshadow for a while. But you got plenty of time to think about that. Anyway, all right, that's enough, guys. Thanks for watching. My name is Melt. We'll see you tomorrow.